What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fallout 4 Mods Weekly. This is like the day late, dollar short edition. Really not the dollar short, but the day late edition. This week and last week, I did actually post this series a little bit later than I like to. Typically, I like to get it out on Sunday, but I was actually sick this past weekend, and I really was not able to record whatsoever. But now I am feeling better and back with the video. Regardless, in this episode of Fallout 4 Mods Weekly, we actually have a number of really cool and interesting mods, and different mods. It's not just all weapon or armor mods. A lot of the mods I'm going to show you in today's video are things you guys have been asking for, and I'm very excited to share them with all of you. If you are looking for a specific mod, I do link all of them down in the description down below. If you enjoy the series, I encourage you to consider subscribing. I do post this mostly on Wednesdays. I really thank all of you for watching. This is the 50th episode of the series. I've been doing this for like 50 weeks straight now. It's more like 45. The first 5 were not exactly weekly, but regardless, I do want to say thank you again for watching. I really appreciate all of your support in the comments and really just viewership in general. Regardless, with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So the first mod I do want to show you is one of the big new releases, and that's going to be Heather Kasdan. This is a new follower mod by Llama RCA. This is the mod author that did create Willow for Fallout New Vegas. If you don't know, Willow was one of the biggest and best follower mods for Fallout New Vegas, and he pretty much does recreate that same ideology in Fallout 4. Heather is without a doubt the follower for Fallout 4 with the most voice lines. It has the most depth to her.
What's on your mind?
You can never trust a synth. If you run into one, kill it. And if it looks like a human and you aren't sure, kill it anyway.
She has a few quests as well as a story that you will begin to uncover as you do grow your affinity with her and actually just develop a relationship with her character. And even beyond that, one of the really cool parts about Heather is she actually has a ton of voice lines for just everyday things in Fallout 4. A lot of the voice lines included with this character are going to coincide with Fallout 4 story, so as an event is happening, you'll hear her make a comment on it, and it really makes it feel much more vanilla. Heather feels like a companion that shipped with vanilla Fallout 4 and not something that you downloaded as a mod. All around, probably the highest quality follower mod we have so far, and definitely one I would recommend downloading.
Yes.
Then we do have the Mosin Nagant. This is a new sniper rifle for Fallout 4. This is definitely a sniper rifle in the traditional sense. I did make a full video on this one earlier in the week. All around, it's a great sniper rifle and a ton of fun to use in game. There's not a ton in the way of weapon attachments. You have a few different versions, one that does have a scope and one without a scope, but it actually has a magazine loaded clip, so you can load 5 bullets at once rather than having to load them one at a time. If you enjoy sniping in Fallout 4, this is definitely a good one to download, or it actually is integrated into the level list as well. So if you want to get sniped or want to snipe other people, I definitely recommend this one. Again, it is really a traditional sniper rifle. You're going to want to go back and sit pretty far away when trying to shoot enemies. If you are using the infantry version, you cannot have a scope on it, and thus you can get a little bit closer, but still, you don't want to be too close. It's balanced pretty well in the sense that it does a very high damage, but it does take a pretty long time to reload, and of course, it is a bolt action, so cocking it back after each and every shot. All around, this is a very high quality mod. There's a lot of great features here, and I definitely am enjoying using this one. So after all these armor and weapon mods, now we actually have a quest mod. Quest mods are kind of hard to make videos on. More or less, this quest mod is called The Code. It follows a story of a bunch of tenants in a big building in the center of Boston and a struggle that they are going through. There's a lot of content here, a few different quests, not just one. And one cool part about this is a lot of these quests have multiple solutions. It's not like you're just following one linear path. Your decisions are going to affect the outcomes. This also sets up the location as a pretty cool place to come back to over the long haul. There's a bunch of different shops and vendors inside of the code, as well as there's actually a few companions that you can recruit, as you'll find during some of the quests. Quest mods are kind of hard to make videos on because I don't want to spoil anything, but at the same time, I guess you're just kind of going off my recommendation. I did play through this, I did really enjoy this, and I recommend you guys play through it as well. So we have what might be my favorite release of this week, and that's going to be Settlement Teleporters. I did show you this a little bit earlier in the week, but basically what this mod is going to do is allow you to place down teleporters in all of your settlements. After placing these down, it's going to do two different things. First and foremost, it's going to connect these settlements by a supply line without having to actually set a settler to a supply line, but even beyond that, it's going to allow you to teleport between the two settlements. Now these are meant to be a very late game item. They're pretty expensive and require 40 power to use, as well as a terminal. I think it's one of the best ways that you could actually have survival fast travel, because again, you can only get this in the late game after you've traveled a lot on foot, and really all around just being able to teleport around is much more immersive, and with the Institute in Fallout 4, it fits into the game fairly well. But even a little bit cooler than that is actually a system where you could call in additional troops through an alert system attached to the teleporter. There's two versions of this, an Institute as well as a Minuteman alert system. And basically the way this is going to work is, once you become the director of the Institute or the general of the Minutemen, you're going to be able to place down a new item, and depending on how many of these you have connected to your teleporter system, so if you have 5 settlements and 5 Minutemen alert systems at each of those settlements, when any one of those settlements gets attacked, 5 Minutemen will spawn out of the teleporter and help defend your settlement. This is a really cool feature. I feel like it's a really nice touch, especially if you're using some of the more realistic settlement mods out there. All around, this mod is very high quality. I find it to be a ton of fun to use, and it really just fits into the game very well. So last but not least, one that you guys have been asking for a ton, Fallout 2287 has been ported over to Xbox One. This is a mod that was out for PC for quite a while now. It actually was originally released in August of 2016. Regardless, what this mod is going to do is make it so the air in Fallout 4 is now toxic. If you go outside, you are going to need a gas mask, as well as have to refresh your filters for that gas mask. It's more or less adding in a core functionality of the Metro series of games into Fallout 4. I did include this in my 4 game-changing mods video, and a lot of you guys were complaining that it was not on Xbox. Well, here it is. This mod has a lot of depth to it. It originally was just simply you have some different filters and a gas mask, and you have to replace them every once in a while. Well, now even beyond that, it actually has a lot of finer details that makes this mod seem a lot more polished than it previous was. There are custom animations for putting on the gas mask and actually screwing on and changing your different filters. It does support HUD framework, so you can see on screen how much time you have left on the different filters, as well as what the environment is. And even beyond that, there's custom sounds for when you're running or walking slowly, and you kind of hear yourself breathing as you would in an actual gas mask. But all that is configurable, and you can change how all of it works. You could have no sounds, you can make them really low so they don't get too annoying. And I guess really the final and coolest feature is everyone else is going to be wearing gas masks. When you encounter those raiders at an outpost, they're going to have gas masks, and if they run out or their filter dies, they're going to start taking radiation damage. It really is a very cool and unique mod, but it really does change up the dynamic of the game, so I imagine it's not going to be for everyone, but personally I think it creates a pretty cool and interesting experience. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for this episode of Fallout 4 Mods Weekly. As always, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.